The implications of the US defeat in Afghanistan are immense. There are implications, enormous implications for India, as well as for Pakistan, as well as for Iran, as well as for China, as well as for Russia, as well as for Israel, as well as for the whole of the modern Western world. And we are on the verge now of witnessing events rapidly unfolding in Afghanistan. I never thought they would unfold so rapidly, which would make the coming weeks and the coming months enormously important for those who have the capacity to analyze the implications. More than 75 years ago, one of the most famous historians of the modern Western world, a man of impeccable scholarly integrity, Arnold Toynbee, British historian, he wrote a book entitled Civilization on Trial. And this is what Arnold Toynbee revealed when he wrote Civilization on Trial. He said of modern Western civilization that it had come to the world to replace all previous civilizations, that all previous civilizations, including the civilization of Islam, are now obsolete and moribund and belong to the museums of history. And the world will witness nothing more from now on than the ascendancy of modern Western civilization. But Afghanistan has just delivered, or is now delivering, a spectacular repudiation of that thesis of the modern West, that Islam is a spent force. Rather, Afghanistan has delivered the evidence that Islam is still alive. Not only that, but Islam has the capacity to resist the most powerful civilization that history has ever witnessed. Because it was not just United States in Afghanistan. It was the whole of the West and all their client states. If Pakistan needs to be reminded of that, well, I'm here to remind you of that. That Erdogan's Republic of Turkey was in Afghanistan all these years as a chamcha of the West. The Afghan Muslim people fought the West for 20 years. And the reason why United States has to leave now is because they are scared of a public relations disaster. Because on the 11th of September, it will be 20 years since they invaded Afghanistan. And how did they do it? Yes, you know the story. And I am not afraid to tell it while others are afraid. In order to be able to pursue a political agenda, and 20 years later, they have to withdraw in failure. And so a message is being sent all around the world. And my voice here from Islamabad in Pakistan is just one little voice added to the chorus now, that Islam is still alive, and Islam is not a spent force, and Islam can take on the modern West. In what sense has the United States been defeated in Afghanistan? In the same sense that they were defeated in Vietnam. Namely, they could not achieve their objectives. That was the defeat. And if Islam can fight the United States and all of the West in Afghanistan, then what is the promise that seems to be apparent now? The promise of what is to come. A message being sent to Venezuela, a message being sent to Bolivia, a message being sent to Chile, a message being sent to Nicaragua, a message being sent all around the world where people are being oppressed. That Islam has the promise that it can come to liberate the oppressed of the world. We also see evidence from events unfolding in Afghanistan that the modern West is in decline. Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica, and it is Pax Americana which is now in decline. The evidence is astonishing, and it keeps on mounting. But those political analysts, including those in Pakistan, who have to sing for their supper because they want to get the articles published in Western newspapers. So they have to, like Vidya Naipaul, they have to write to please the West. They have to cook the food for the taste of the West.